Hey guys, good morning and welcome to Trinity's training page. Today's question of the day is brought to you by Jane Martin, and she had a question for me. Jane actually lives overseas and is not able to access a lot of the retriever training supply sites that we have here in the States. And she wanted to know, how hard it would be to make a 30-foot lead for her dog. I actually had given a couple of 30-foot leads away last week, and I made those myself. I had a little bit of supplies left over to make another one. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a quick, easy way to make one. I actually make pretty much all of my retriever training equipment that I can. I buy what I can't. Not that I'm against buying your stuff from a manufacturer. Sometimes I just come up with stuff that I need on a whim. It may not even be out there, so I pretty much have gotten used to just making do with what I have and trying to do a good job with it. So that being said, the supplies that you'll need will be, of course, a 30-foot piece of rope. I like to use a diamond braided rope like you would use for mountaineering, climbing. It's good and strong. It's lightweight. It rolls up easy because you'll be rolling this up every day. Like I said, it's very strong. It doesn't stretch. I mean, it's always going to be 30 foot. It's a polymer core, like paracord in the middle. So like I said, it's very, very, very strong. And then it has a braided shell on the outside, so it takes abrasion really well. Anyway, the next thing you'll need is you'll need a good snout. I like to use a brass snout, solid brass. That way you're not getting into any rusting situations or anything like that, and it'll last you for a long, long time before you ever have to replace it. Excuse me, had a cough drop in my mouth there. Also, I like to make sure that it has a swivel end on it, so the rope's less likely to tangle up. And that has a 1/2 inch eye on it. This is a 3/8 rope. You can see that goes through there pretty easy. What I like to do is I like to try to put that through there a couple of inches. Now you need some way to secure this. A lot of guys will run heavy gauge stitching through it, and that's probably the best way. It's not always the easiest way because I'm not much of a seamstress, so it kind of looks like a mess when I do it. So what I do is I have some Decker's Hump Hills pig rings, okay? Some people call them hog rings. Man, we use these for lots of things around the kennel here. I'll get a couple out here and show you up close. Any of you pig farmers might be familiar with these, but most people probably won't. I'm gonna get that real close right there. And what that is that goes in the nose of the hog, and it keeps them from rooting out from under the fence or just rooting in general, because when they root with this in their nose, it causes pain, okay? We're going to use that for a different operation. You'll need a pair of hog ring pliers. Usually they sell these where they got the hog rings, and they're about $5 or $6. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this hog ring and I'm going to come in here. Nikki, can you get that in the camera? And I'm just going to crimp that down as tight as I can get it, because I want that thing to pretty much go away. You can see that right there. I'm going to put about 3 of them on there. And I like to make them go in different directions. I don't know why. I guess I put one way, and then I'll turn that rope over, and I'm about a 1/2 inch away from it. I'll go the opposite direction with this one. Like I said, you want to crimp them down as small as you can get them. Guys, remember, we're just training dogs here. We're not performing rocket science. It don't have to be perfect. It's got to be user friendly, okay? All right, now where I cut my rope off, I took a torch, plumber's torch, propane torch, and I heated the end of it, melted it, and kind of bonded it all together so that the core is bonded to the shell on the outside, so you won't have any slippage. Okay, then I got me a roll of Scotch electrical tape, and I used red just because I had a red rope. They make this in a ton of colors, at least here in the States. I'm just going to wrap that up good just to kind of protect the joint there, and also to keep, you know, anybody from getting tangled up in one of those hog rings. I've never had that happen before, but you know, when you're messing with dogs, anything can happen. So sometimes you have to think way ahead of the game here. But also it protects those hog rings. They will rust. They're made out of copper. Copper will oxidize. But I just want to try to kind of keep it clean and neat, you know, just so it looks well. Then I'm just going to break that off. And that's your dog connection in on your 30-foot lead, okay? And like I said, this rope is 30 foot long. On this other end, I have also taken my torch, heated this up, melted it, and bonded it together. On all my ropes, I don't like to put a loop of any kind on there, or a knot or anything, because I like to use them in the water also. And I don't want them to have anything that could hang up on a stick or a log, or, you know, cat tails or anything like that, and cause a dog to get in any kind of situation. Like I said, they are dogs, and sometimes they do things that we wouldn't think they would, but you know, they're dogs. So that's pretty straightforward there on how to make that. Doesn't take a rocket scientist. You can make it with very little tools. And it'll take this rope a time or two to stretch out and get all the kinks worked out of it. It was in a 100-foot roll, but the way I like to roll them up, and this one's not going to roll up very pretty. Again, a friend of mine, Russ Morgan, showed me this. Was a lineman for years on some high-powered power line stuff. You just kind of roll it and turn it as you roll it up. Okay, and I like to try to keep all the lengths the same way. And you want to have a couple of tag ends like that. And you gather it up, and you just take your tag in and you roll it around the rope here a couple times, 2 or 3 times. You get all your loops together, reach through the loop, pull the tag in through and over, and then just pull it down. And that'll hang in the closet of your dog truck, or lay in the bed of your pickup, or whatever. And when you want to unroll that dude, you just pull that loop over, pull it this way, take your loops off. See if I can get this right, and then you can just toss that rope out there, and looky there. No frills, no mess, no tangles. So we're gonna use this as our question of the day and try to do something constructive with it. I hope you guys enjoyed it. You can ask me how I make anything, how I use anything. I'll be more than glad to share it with you. Later on today, I had a member ask me yesterday about force fetching without a table, and I guess I wasn't clear in my explaining it, and that's okay. So I told him that later today I won't do it with Trinity, but I'll do it with a dog that's already been through force fetch. I'll show you how to use the bucket method that I explained in our question of the day the other day. I'm going to get all this stuff cleaned up here. We're going to go get Trinity and get her on this table, and try to work on that hold some more. So you guys stay tuned. We're going to go get that well-trained retriever.